Hey everyone, Bigor with Bigor Gaming here. Thank you for watching. We're just going to go over this Tallon Zek and Plane of Time fight. It's probably one of the hardest fights in Planes of Power. Actually, it is one of the hardest fights in Planes of Power. The only thing really that's hard, like the same difficulty I'd say in Planes of Power would be the Wrath Council, um, and Plane of Earth. That's probably the next like hardest thing to do. Talon has the most like positioning of any mob. Like the position in Talon is just so important compared to a lot of mobs and a lot of things you fight in EverQuest. It's kind of unique. So here's a quick video. I'm gonna go over all the different like strategies and stuff, and then at the end I'll show you a clip of us killing it in our raid, and so you can see it all kind of play out in real time and how it actually works. I always say every TLP is gonna be my last, and then I play another one and another one, another one. I want to make this video so that way next TLP, bam, I already have the thing. I can make my raiders watch it, and I don't have to maybe explain it in quite detail. And maybe it'll prevent the first time everybody goes up against Talon. It's like almost inevitable half the time you wipe, or it's not super clean. So hopefully this will help you guys out. If you haven't done Talon before, and maybe if you have, maybe it'll help you make it a little easier for you. If you have any suggestions or comments, leave them below, or questions, I'll answer them. But here we go. Step one, guys. So what you want to do is get plane shift bled out. Plane shift increases your mana cost by like 50%. It's really important to get this one out there, especially if you're first time doing it. So what you do is move your raid over to the opposite side of the room by the door as far as you can from him, and then you have a DA class such as a Bard, Paladin, or Shadow Knight. Go in there, and they're gonna aggro Talon. They'll get him to cast plane shift, and then they'll just leash him, back to his room. And then once you have that debuff come out, it might take a few tries, you'll move your raid to the next step. Step 2, guys, this is after you bled out plane shift. I would recommend moving your raid to what I call the Cleric spot, and I'll show that in this quick clip right here. And once you have your raid there, that's where your clerics will stay, and we'll move on to step 3. Step 3, guys, this is the most important step of the whole fight. Basically, you want to have your paladin go in their DA to pull Talon to the corner. Followed right behind him should be the warrior with fortitude popped, clicking his instant aggro stuff like swollen fungus beast gland is good. And then once he has aggro, he can use midnight mallets because they're easy to recoup. I made a video about how to farm those, so if you want to check that out, you can. And for the tank, it's important to remember you want to be like max melee from Talon. You don't want Talon pushed on top of your head because you got to keep the DPS max distance from you so that they don't get AI'd. So you don't really want a corner tank Talon. You want him like your max, basically max range while you're attacking. You don't want to be right under him because you don't want your raid, pushing him over top of you. So we'll go over this later in the other positioning parts, but basically get in there, get that heal chain going, and have your tank spamming aggro. And if you're tanking this, be really important. It's really important to remember to pop your defensive. Don't have like that brain fart where you do fortitude and you're so caught in the moment you forget to click defensive. Because if you try to tank Talon without a discipline running, you're gonna die instantly. So roll straight from your fortitude right into defensive. Don't drop the ball. Next part, guys, is DPS positioning. This is really important. This is once the DPS is called in, you will move in hugging the wall to get to Talon. You're going to stay on the edge of the target ring and DPS from there. You do not want to, if the mob gets pushed onto the tank, like real tight in the corner, you want to just wait and back and wait for it to get pushed out of the corner because the AEs are hitting the tank. So if the mob is pushed right on top of the tank in the corner, you're going to be getting hit by AEs. So in this clip, you'll see none of us are getting hit by AEs, but that's because the mob is not pushed on top of the tank. We have 1 or 2 monks assigned to pushing the mob out of the corner to counter the push, and then that keeps it from, getting pushed, like the raid just all getting AE'd. We didn't take a single AE on this fight, and that's because our monks did such a good job pushing it back. You'll see we have like actually quite a bit of push in this fight, and that's because of people have a lot of procs that do push, a lot of spells that do push, and as much as you want everybody to be good about using the right weapons and procs and spells, it's inevitable some people are not going to understand or not going to do that. But just do your best to not use weapons with push. Do not use spells that are going to push. And if you do, make sure you're facing towards the wall and pushing him into the wall and not into the tank or into the DPS. But yeah, it's a control fight. It's not about spiking the parse. Yep, guys, you don't want to push it to him. Back up just a hair, all melee. Back up a tiny bit, or you're going to start taking A's when the monks are going to have to push it. Monks, push that one click out, please. Monks, push that one click out. There we go. That's good. Check, readjust melee. Do not aggro Valen. So last part of this, guys, is role responsibilities. Tanks. One, if you're a tank for this, make sure you have the required things you need, like the swollen fungus beast glands and midnight mallets to help you hold aggro. Make sure you maintain max melee range on the boss. If it's getting pushed over you, you should have monks pushing it back. Um, and also, if you are maybe the backup tank for this, like say you're second in line, third in line, make sure you also have those same things, because when you take aggro and pop fortitude, if that other tank dies, you are going to have to click a bunch of really spam aggro things on it to keep it on you. That's going to be very clutch and important. Clerics, you're going to have a CH chain. Make sure that you're hitting your button on time. Do not cancel any of your heals. And make sure you test your chain ahead of time. And you should test your timing. You should be able to do a spot heal in between your heals. And I would not cancel a single heal in this fight. I'd let them all rip. I wouldn't cancel nothing. So CH and spot in between your heals on the main tank. This tank, this is a hard fight to keep your tank up. Also, have your Purify AA and know where your button is before you go into this fight for that, because he'll cast Balance of something on him. It's a red icon, looks like a skull. It's a skull icon. You will need to purify that debuff off of your tank, because that's what causes a lot of problems and a lot of wipes. You'll want to go with your CH chain. So basically, if he gets that debuff on him, the cleric lead is going to say, "Hey, purify the tank number one," and then the next tank, next time it happens, purify number two. And if you're mid CH, you're just going to call for a skip, and then they'll skip to the next cleric and he'll purify you. But it's very important to get that debuff off of the tank as soon as possible. Enchanters, you have a job here too. Make sure you're applying runes and just spam the rune on the tank as much as possible. Make sure he has the appropriate buff slots for it. He's going to need to have about spots for 4 debuffs, and he's going to want to have a spot for Rune and DI. Next is Shamans and Druids. Assist with the healing. It's not a DPS fight, it's just control fights. So you're going to be healing the ramp tank and the main tank, and just spam those heals as much as possible. Don't let them die. Tanks that aren't, the tanks that are not tanking, that are fighting in this, do not have your aggro weapons equipped. That's really dumb. Have your DPS weapon set and be ready to bandolier your aggro weapons in if you need them. Also, a lot of raids, with they aggro Valen on accident, they just immediately reset and they just quit. Have your tanks ready. If you have knights in your raids, a lot of people have a lot of knights in their guilds. If you aggro Valen, if you're a knight, go grab it, go kite it on the other side of the room. All the knights should work together to go kite that on the other side of the room. You can still kill Tallon with Valen aggroed. Obviously, that's not ideal, and you don't want that situation, but you can do it. Just have the knights pick them up immediately and kite them around on the other side of the room if you have to. Because what if you're 20% and someone aggro's Valen? Do you really want to reset or wipe to that? Heck no. So knights, that's your job. Pick that up and off tank that off, not off tank, but kite it off to the side as best you can. It won't be easy. DPS, maintain your max distance. Go back to that other part where we showed where you should be standing. And yeah, watch your push. Don't have push weapons. Even if it means switching to a lower DPS weapon to avoid pushing the mob, that's good. It's all about control this fight. Clear your aggro whenever possible. If you can drop aggro in some certain way, do it. Beast Lords, be careful with your aggro. Don't obviously have like anything that draws extra aggro, don't have, and back your pet off whenever you need to. Next, guys, just key notes on this fight. Precision and positioning are crucial for success. Avoid unnecessary movement by push of weapons or spells, and maintain your aggro awareness. Now we have aggro meters. It's very easy. Do not over aggro. Don't even get too close to the top. Don't ride the lightning on this fight. So good luck, everybody, on your Talon fight. I hope it goes smooth for you. Here's a clip of us doing it. And if you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments or in Discord or on my stream, Bigger33. I stream every week, and my schedule's on my Twitch channel, and I keep it updated. So I hope you all have a great day. And if you want any other videos or anything like that, just leave them in the comments, and I'll make a video for it. See y'all later. Throw weapons in, guys, and when you come around the corner, when we do finally call you in, make sure you hug that corner. Do not aggro Valen. Okay. I guess let's turn off Bard's songs for a second. Actually, it'll be fine. We can just block them. Make sure Hot X is on your guys' X-Tars too for spam healing if you're a shaman. Alright, let's do this. Hot X, go in there and move it. And then Darmok, go ahead in after they do and just let us know when we're good to move in. Start the chain on Darmok now. Stay out, DPS, stay out, stay out, stay out. Let him get set. This chain needs to be super tight. Okay, hug the wall. Do not aggro out. Some of y'all are playing with fire there. Watch your positioning. 2 go. We need some spam heals. Remember sure you're ruining him. Click off your DS's, Darmok, if you can. Yep, guys, you don't want to push it to him. Back up just a hair. All melee, back up a tiny bit or you're going to start taking AEs when the monks are going to have to push it. Monks, push that 1 click out, please. Monks, push that 1 click out. There we go, that's good. Check, readjust melee, do not aggro Valen. I got him. Melee, check your position. Max melee. Keep spam healing shamans on Darmok. He took some. Let's click it 1 push out, monks. Everybody get ready to readjust. Readjust. Back up a little bit. Another click out. Get ready to readjust. Our push is kind of ridiculous. Yep, it's fine. It's fine, guys. Don't argue right now. Let's just kill it. Yeah.